would ask you, how did you tap into that? But I feel like it tapped into you.
No, well, like I said, I got called a loser.
Yeah.
I remember I have like so many memories that like changed my life. I remember being 19 with my girlfriend. Shout out to Stacy. At the time, and I remember me and her mother running for the bus for the MARTA on Old National, and I remember running I remember running for the bus, and I remember Stacy was she was thick, she was nice, but I remember looking back at Stacy and she's running, but she's like maybe 30 yards behind me, and I remember her mom was like 30 yards behind her, and I remember thinking like, this can't be my fucking life, bro. I cannot be out here running for the bus. Yeah. So I was like, man, it got to be something more. Yeah. And I remember breaking up with her because she was like, what are we gonna do? And I was like, something. Yeah. So it was always in me. It was like the minute that I knew that I was nothing, it's kind of like imagine if they was like, all right, cool, it's 8 of us in here. They like, all right, cool, they're gonna come get the gifted people. They're gonna come in here and they're gonna take the gifted people. And then you think you gifted, and then they take 2 of us, and then we left. It's like, fuck, that's how the world sees me. Yeah. That's how the world sees me.
I should do something to your mental.
Man, it's like I think I'm special, but they didn't see it. So it's like either I'm not showing it or I'm showing it in the wrong room. Yeah. And I just like, I'm gonna go for it.
So you found the right room to show it.
I didn't even find the right room, found me.
Found you, yeah.
Exactly. Okay. But I was down, dedicated, ready to go, and like I'm still unafraid. Like I'm in a podcast space. I don't want to be in a I don't want to be in the media space. That wasn't like what I wanted to do.
Who's called to it?
It wasn't even that. It was just, bro, I started my show as a social experiment, because what happens is that I have so many people, when you get to this certain place of success, people show up to your doorstep and be like, teach me. Yeah. And I would just tell them what to do. Like, bro, if you just do this, this, and this, you'll win. And they'd be like, okay, but I'm like, bro, you got to do that shit for 6 months straight. Yeah. You can't, because you got to develop the habit of doing it. Yeah. And they be like, yeah, okay, cool. And then they'll go and do like 3 or 4 days, and then they'll stop. And I'm like, let me just show them. So I started off telling people, my team, I was like, yo, just come in here, ask me a question. Yeah. And I'm going to answer it. So if you look at my IG, the first videos I would do is it was no mic in front of me. And then I would do interviews. Yeah. And then when I would do interviews, my team would be like, you're really good during interviews. You're better than you are when you're talking. And I'm like, because there's a mic in front of my face. Yeah. And if it's a mic in front of my face, I guess it makes me think about what I'm going to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
So then I said, put a mic in front of my face. So then you'll see videos on my page of me with a mic in front of my face, but the mic's not even on.
I was going to say, was it hooked up?
No. Okay. It was just like, and then it was like, but hearing your voice, it changes. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was like, so then it became that. And then I was like, so it's like, I started doing that like March of last year. So from March to like August, everywhere I go, people will be congratulating me on my show. Like, man, that show you got going is fire. And I'm like, bro, it's not literally, it's like, ask me 2 or 3 questions like you're doing now. I'm gonna answer. Yeah. Go on my rant. Let's take 60 seconds of each. Whatever it is, let's put it out to the world. Yeah. I was trying to attract things. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't tell people to do something if you're not willing to go out there and do it yourself. So I was really trying to show artists. And then next thing you know, it was like, and I'm like, I'm not even doing it. And then I was like, fuck it, let's just do a show. And I wrote on my board in my office, Convos with the Gods. Because I was talking to a homegirl of mine, and she was like, some niggas think they goats, and some niggas think, some niggas is out here moving like underdogs. And I was like, I'm an acronym guy. Like, you tell me something, I'm gonna just spell it out. So I was like, goats and God. Yeah. That's fire. I want to talk to people. So I wrote on my board, Convos with Gods. Yeah. And I was like, I want to do a show called Convo with, I had like 5 podcast ideas. I was like, I want to do a show called Convo with Gods. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to call it the God Show. Yeah. And I was like, because if I call it Convos with Gods, that means I need people to show up. And nobody that means if no one shows up, I don't have a show. Yeah. And I was like, just call it the God Show. And then I'll be that. And then literally, even on my show, bro, the only person that I asked was Master P. That's the only person I didn't know.
Legendary interview.
But I'm just saying, I don't know P. But and I just was like, fuck it, I'm gonna ask him. But dog, I haven't asked nobody. Even now, when I be out and about, I'll be like, I'm different. I'll be like, should I ask him, do he want to be on the show? Yeah. Like, am I tripping for not asking?
Who have you seen and you was like, man, do I need to ask him?
Nigga, everybody. Let me tell you. So I was talking to P, QC, and he was like, man, I love that shit you're doing. And I'm like,
that's hard.
I'm like, yo, should I ask him? Like, because in my mind it's like, I'm doing it, and should I ask? I don't know. So, nigga, I was in Miami last week. I was down there with Timberland. Shouts to Timberland. We working on something crazy. And then, you know, me and Timberland and Khaled at the table. And Khaled was like, yo, I love what you're doing. I was like, dope, man. He was like, you talk, blah, blah, blah. You doing da, da, da. And I'm like, thank you, bro. And I'm like, should I ask him? Because in my mind, it's like, bro, I've surrendered. Like, the shit, when it's time, the shit will come. When it's time, it'll come. So I've not asked anybody. I don't even know how to. Because in my mind, it's like, bro, like, you know what I do is like, this our second one. The other one got fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't have to ask me.
Yeah.
You ain't say.
I had to. I felt like I needed to.
But you didn't have to. Yeah. I was like, oh, the shit got broke. Yeah. Just let me know when you do it again.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I'm not, because it's like, people like, man, you don't want to make Ray do. I'm like, bro, like, you don't have to ask me. Like, but that's what I think makes me great at what I do. You don't have to ask me. Like, you don't have to ask me to do nothing. I'm gonna fucking do it. If I walk in the room and I see something needs to be done, I'm going to do it. Yeah. That's just who I am. So I don't know how to ask for things, but you know, I'm just getting started, man, and you know, it's doing good. Yeah,
man, I love it. I'm an avid watcher. I watch all the time. I'm subscribed. The God acronym is amazing to me, man, because it's like that was one of my questions, how you come up with that.
Yeah.
Because my caption for the Atlanta commission was current underdog, future GOAT.
Exactly. But when you think about it, it was like underdog goats. They both animals. And I was like, bro, I'm telling you, you might say something to me and I'll just literally say the acronym in my head like that. Man, that might be fucking fire. Yeah. Because you know, it just gives it more context. Yeah.